Over the last few months, I've done quite a few interviews. And in this video, I want to share some of the most inspiring parts of each of those interviews with you. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive list of the interviews that I've done. However, what I have done is I've picked out some parts of the interviews that either inspired me or YouTube analytics are telling me are parts that people tend to focus on in those interviews and watch repeatedly. So we're going to get right into it, but just before we do me a massive favor, guys, smash the like button and also please subscribe. This really helps out the channel and I am grateful for your support. Let's get into it.
I feel good. I wish that more people would give this a shot. We're at a point in the United States where most people are overweight. They're riding around in little carts at the grocery store because they can't walk anymore. And we're talking like 30-year-old people, and they're still buying Cheerios and oatmeal and all this stuff and thinking that they're being healthy. And it's like humans really seem to have a problem just eating their natural diet. No other animal in nature eats and gets fat. It's just humans. And we always think that we're smarter, like we're going to figure this out. Like a vegan has to really carefully plan what they're going to eat, how they're going to eat it, how much nutrients they're going to get from this, and how many vitamins for that and this. But a carnivore just eats meat. He cooks it in 5 minutes and he's done. And it's really important to realize what's the natural way of human eating, And we've been just taught so long that cholesterol is bad for you. And then saturated fat was bad for you. And now they're kind of admitting that those things aren't really a nutrient of concern. And it's just a matter of getting the doctors to realize it too. I'm not a doctor. I don't know everything that doctors know, but I know that I feel great and I felt like crap before, right? And that's generally how I judge my health, is by how I feel.
Motivation follows action. And it took me a long time to understand that, because I would always tell my wife, I need to go out and do something. I need to get out of this house. I have no motivation. And I'd lay back down. And I'd lay back down or I'd sit around. But sometimes, man, if you'll take that first step, you'd realize, well, man, I can do this. And after that walking video, I was sore from walking. I hadn't done it very much. But after I did it one day, I'm like, well, I wonder if I can do 2 laps tomorrow. I kind of challenged myself, And I started reading some books. What is it? David Goggins wrote a book, You Can't Hurt Me. And somebody suggested it to me. And, he's got a lot of language in that book and whatever for those that care, about that. But the concept that I got from him in that book, he's like, man, we're so easy on ourselves so many times, and we're ample on forgiving ourselves. And I'm not saying don't forgive yourself. I'm not saying be overbearing on yourself, but sometimes we got to just be honest with ourselves and just say, hey, look, it's not okay if I just give up this easy, or if it's not okay if I just do whatever. Whenever you do what you want to do, you become a slave to your own desires, and sometimes we got to get tough with ourselves and be like, deal with ourselves on a straightforward, honest level, because nobody's going to push us harder than we push ourselves,
For me, it was always about macros, and the carbs was a macro, and you'd count calories, and that's just absolutely a waste of time. It's just not necessary. Really, all you need to know is, what does the body need? And what is toxic. That way you know what you should and shouldn't eat. And when you understand that everything that the body needs is just found in meat, or is found in eggs, some dairy, some fish, when you put all that together, you're getting an abundance of these essential nutrients, macro and micro. I would start there. Just get a feel for the carnivore space, that certain people, what they're talking about, foods, perhaps even go and watch what they eat in a day, just to give you an idea. Once you've got that in mind, I I would certainly take it slow. I would say definitely cut out highly processed foods, takeaways, going out to eat even. I would say, do that for a couple of weeks, perhaps. I mean, I'm no expert, but perhaps after that, then get rid of grains, maybe even seed oils as well, and start cooking in animal fats with your vegetables and having your fruit, whatever it might be that you have. Drink teas and coffees, and then perhaps take the next, the vegetables out, and then just have your meat and your fruit, and maybe teas and coffees, and then get rid of fruit. Perhaps do these for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Why not? Take it real slow. There's no reason why you need to rush into this. You've probably been on this planet for decades already. There's no need to just jump into it tomorrow. I was just absolutely desperate, and really, I can be quite impatient. So, me and Lucy jumped straight in. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily because it was hard. It hit us hard. I think it was just carbohydrate withdrawal, potential oxalate dumping, potential electrolyte problems, just with adjusting, because obviously it's such a radical change. The body's kind of like, wait, what? Slow down. So I would say just take it slow, take out what you deem to be the worst. Most likely is going to be highly processed until you're left with all animal products.
Try not to cry. You sitting in your chair right there, it is so hard to imagine being in such a dark place that life can be different. The depression is all consuming. You feel like you're in the dark underworld and there is no light in existence, but there is. It is day-to-day experiences, making these small itty-bitty changes that change our trajectory and our path. You might not be able to see what 6 months looks like from now, or the possibility that life can be different. But 6 months ago, I was having to use a walker. I am 33 to 6 months later now, I am walking 2 miles every single day with my dogs. I literally, it saved my life. And even though you might not be able to see your next step, just taking a step away from the direction you're heading will make a huge difference.
In order to live this way, you have to let go of some of the ideas that you have. And you have to get to the point where you don't care what other people think about you, because if you're going to listen to what everybody wants you to do, you're going to end up in a bad situation. Sometimes you have to, as you say, go with your gut and see what works for you. Just because somebody else may be doing well on a certain diet doesn't mean that you're going to do it. Even with this diet, I know people that couldn't eat this way because they have ethical concerns or they say they react badly to meat. So it may be a good idea to make adjustments based on what you could tolerate. In my case, it turned out to be the animal-based diet that works. But if you're on a standard American diet, I'd recommend try this first and give it time. Give it 6 months. And then if it doesn't improve for you, you may have to change. You may have to add some plant material, maybe vegetables or fruits, because I know people that do really well with vegetables and fruits. But the main thing is, don't let some influencer or some celebrity tell you what to do. Listen to what they say and try it for yourself. If it works, go with it. If it doesn't work, try something else. Even doctors, a lot of times they'll give you advice. Oh, you need to take this medicine or do this or that. And you can take it, but you need to maybe try something else and then supplement it. And like you said, just try to go with the way you feel. So as the old saying is, think for yourself. And if you educate yourself and you think for yourself, your chance of success is much higher.
I would say to those people, if they're thinking about starting, what do you have to lose? Just give it at least a month. Give it 1 month of your life and just see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then you can try something else. But most people, if they try it a month, they're like, hey, I'm staying. I don't see many people that are carnivore for a while that just decide, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. For me personally, first and foremost, I feel like God saved my soul, but carnivore is helping to save my life. Because it is very, very unhealthy to be almost 500 pounds. And right now, I'm still 436 pounds, I believe. Yeah, 436 pounds. But that scale is on the way down. and I'm just going to get healthier and healthier and healthier every day.
Maybe just encourage people to find their own path and just do it day by day, just today. Just do it today. And those little wins, those little successes, they build up resistance to the bad stuff. And over time, you'll get there. Like, I want to say this about that. This is very important distinction I made. So I read a lot of books about masculinity and being a man, and, you know, it's not cool to be a man anymore or whatever. But what I realized after reading all these books is that I'd rather die. If I die today, let them find me dead, but I got my workout in, I was eating clean, and I was doing the best I could. Maybe I didn't get to where I was ultimately trying to go in my life, but at least I died with dignity and the respect of my family, knowing that he did the best with what he had until the bitter end. Instead of playing the someday game, I'll get my act together, and being a coward and lying to myself, which is ultimately lying to the people that I love, and pretending that it's fine, and just people looking at me when I'm gone like, what a waste. He talked a good talk, but his walk was the total opposite. So I just thought, I'm just going to do my best I can today, and I'll keep stacking those wins. So I don't have to have regrets, and I don't have to be a disappointment to the people I love. My family is something that's very important to me, and I want to be a model of excellence, not by what I say, but how I live my life. And because I was able to make this more about something bigger than me, then I got out of my own way.
The first thing I would say is don't do it the way I did it. I jumped right in. I was standard American diet on May the 8th, and then I was carnivore on May the 9th. And I'm proud to report that I spent my 59th birthday in the bathroom. And I spent the next 2 weeks not traveling very far from my bathroom, because doing it the way I did, I don't think it will actually hurt you to not have a slow transition. But if you're not going to have a slow transition, those first couple of weeks, you can't get very far from the house or even very far from the bathroom in your house, because you will have problems that are urgent, sudden, and explosive. So I highly recommend that you do a slow transition to this diet over the course of 6 to 8 weeks. I don't recommend you do it the way I did it. The next thing that I would like to tell people is, I just talked about this a few days ago. One of the most important vitamins that you have to make sure you're getting enough of when you're on this diet is vitamin P. Vitamin P stands for patience. Everybody is different. Don't look at me and say, wow, Bob lost 150 pounds in a year. I'm going to jump right into this, and the weight's just going to start falling off. Well, it may or it may not. I reference Kelly Hogan many times. You know, if you look at her story, she spent the first 6 months gaining weight because her body needed to heal, because she was so lacking in essential nutrients to make her body run properly, that her body's basically like, oh boy, look at all this stuff. Let's fix stuff, because we got stuff to do with now. So she spent the first 6 months gaining weight. Then after that, the weight just fell off of her, and she looks fantastic now. She's not quite our age, but she looks like she's maybe 25 years old. She looks fantastic. So have vitamin P, have patience, because we don't get to choose. Well, I'm starting this because I want to make my arthritis feel better. Well, if your body decides that you need to lose 20 pounds before your arthritis gets better, that's what it's going to do. Or vice versa. we have no control over what our body is going to fix first. So have patience and also have confidence that this journey will work for 99.9% of the people out there if you are doing it correctly.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.